answer these things anyway. Sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Do you like one of these? Well, you're a bit too old to be sneaking off to the boiler room.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, you're leaving.
End of the week, sir. Can't believe it. Right, sir? Misspent youth. I came to bring you this, actually, sir. Sort of leaving present.
Memoirs of Sergeant Burgoyne. Where on earth did you get this?
Oh, I paid for it, sir. I came across it in a shop in the Charing Cross Road during my halls. Do you remember, sir, back in the 5th, you said that if we wanted to know what war was really like, we should read that. You said you'd lost your own copy at Wipers or somewhere.
I wouldn't have expected anyone to remember that.
What you said about it then, sir, was that it helped you get through. No matter how bad things were at the front, those 18th century soldiers had it worse. And if Sergeant Burgoyne could get through his war, then... well, maybe you could get through yours.
I said all that, did I?
I thought it might help, sir. Well, you know. Now.
Yes, I see. Thank you very much. It was very kind of you. I had been meaning to replace it, but I never did.
You are going to stay on, though, sir, aren't you?
I don't know. It took me till today to get enough courage to come here.
Well, you did hit. Sir, everybody hopes that you do stay on.
What's it to you, Chad? You're leaving.
That's different, sir. The place wouldn't be the same if you left. Besides, you've got to break in a new house captain. Paddy McNaughton just wouldn't be able to cope if you didn't show him the ropes. Besides, if you left, they'd probably get Slasher Irvin to be a housemaster. You've really got to stay, sir.
I don't know.
Thanks for everything anyway, sir.
Goodbye, Chad.
I'll be back to see you on Founder's Day.
If anyone belongs here, it's you.
Sir?
Yes, Chatterton?
How do you spell hypocrisy, sir?
Haven't you got a dictionary?
Yes, sir.
And look it up.
Sir, I did look it up, sir, but it wasn't there.
Look again.
Really, sir, it's not there.
Where did you look?
H, sir.
HYP?
Oh, sorry, sir. I was looking under HIP.
HYPOCRISY.
Oh, thank you, sir. Sir?
Yes, Chatterton?
Sir, dictionaries aren't really much use, are they, sir? I mean, you can't look up the spelling of a word unless you know how it's spelt. Can you, sir? Do you see what I mean, sir?
Yes, Chatterton, I do see. Now get on with your work.
Yes, sir.
Have a good haul, sir.
Thank you, Chandler. Same to you.
Very well then, boyo. Just do you like it?
Wet, warm, weak and Welsh.
Oh, come on now. Bloody good pint, this is. If you've never known better.
How long do you think you can keep the strike up then?
As long as it takes. It's not just the miners now, see? General strike, when the buses and railways come out with us. Nothing's going to be the same after this, Davy.
You really think there's going to be a revolution?
Oh, I don't know. At least they know we bloody are now. He was down last week, his lordship Mount Nessing, all the way from his Scottish castle in his Rolls bloody Royce. First time most of us have laid eyes on him. Gentlemen, he said, these are hard times. You can't get blood out of a stone. Hard times, I told him. 50 bob a week wouldn't keep you in cigars. You were made of bloody stone. Make a note of that man's name, he said. Aye. He knows who I am now. Why don't you stay down here, Davy? Mam's longing to have someone else to look after. Well, someone else to look after her.
I know.
Well then, school's here, aren't there? You should know who spent enough time in them. You don't want to go back to that old place.
I think I got two Emrys.
Aye, well, I dare say you're entitled to a bit of peace and quiet if that's what you want.
No, it's not that. You see, I got to get back there somehow. Well, there's no damn sense in what I'm doing unless I can say my piece at a place like Banfield. You don't need me here. They do there. I'd bloody well get back if I have to walk. Good morning.
Morning, sir. Morning, sir.
Well, sit down. Right, well, we're coming back to the reform bills of the 1830s. Before we begin, perhaps we better have a summary of what we've covered so far. Leatherett, would you like to begin? Who owns this piece of bog paper? I didn't ask who put it there. Whose is it?
It was mine, sir.
And where did you get it?
Where?
Yes, where? It's a simple question, isn't it?
My father sent it, sir, for the debate next week. I'm supposed to be speaking, sir.
And do you think that this makes an intelligent contribution to the debate? Well, do you?
It's only a joke, sir. We were all in on it. We know you're on the miners' side. It's just a bit of fun, really. Nothing personal.
Leatherett, when I want your views, I shall ask for them. I'm speaking to Saunders. Well, do you think this makes an intelligent contribution to the debate?
Well, it's only a cartoon, sir, but...
Go on.
Well, I think it's fair comment. I think, sir, that if the miners are prepared to put the country in jeopardy for the sake of a few extra shillings a week, then they can't expect much sympathy.
Thank you, Saunders. Right. Well, I can see that you all think that I should take this in good part. See the funny side of it, hmm? Well, there is not a funny side. And you know that if you've seen what I've seen. You probably don't know that I'm a miner's son. My brother's a miner. He and his mates work a 5.5-day week for 50 shillings. Most of you wouldn't last 5 minutes beside the boys of 14 who work there. The mines are owned by absentee owners who are too miserly even to install pithead baths. So the miners have to wash in tin baths in front of the fire. Now think about that for a minute. 50 bob a week for a man with a wife and children. And it costs about £4, 10 shillings a week to keep you young gentlemen here for 8 months of the year. Well, perhaps a country like that needs to be put in jeopardy. When I was a young boy, much younger than any of you here, I went to school one morning, leaving behind a father and 3 brothers working on the early shift. That's 4 a.m. to midday. When I got home that evening, my father and 2 of my brothers were dead. Their bodies were never recovered. It was judged to be too expensive to be worth it. Phone bills of the 1830s. Leatherette?
Watson? Up here. Yes, at once.
Yes, sir?
I heard you use a word just now in respect to my house. What was it again?
Oh, balls up, sir. Sorry, sir.
No, Watson. Kremlin. How long has that been in circulation?
I don't know, sir. Just this term, I think.
And what do you know about the Kremlin, Watson?
Nothing at all, sir.
Then why did you use the word just now?
I don't know, sir. All the chaps are calling it the Kremlin. Mr. Carter does, sir. Instincts.
Mr. Carter.
Yes, sir.
All right, Watson, that'll be all.
Yes, sir.
That last turnout was a disgusting shambles, Saunders.
Yes, sir.
I shall expect to see a 300% improvement.
Carter, can you spare a minute?
Delighted.
I'll get them out there, sir.
Full inspection, mind. Now, what can I do for you, old man?
You refer to my house as the Kremlin in front of a class of fifth formers.
What's all the fuss about?
I asked you a question. Have you or haven't you?
What if I have? You are a red, aren't you?
I want an apology.
Look, it was a joke, man. Where's your sense of humor? Can't you take a joke?
Not that kind of joke, and not in front of the boys. It was crass, stupid, and unprofessional. And you'll apologize to me.
I damn well won't. Who the hell do you think you are? Barging into my rooms, trying to bully me? It won't wash, man. Look, I know you've been through a lot. I feel damn sorry for
I don't
you.
want your
But you
sympathy.
seem to think you can get away with anything. You are not responsible. You're a danger to yourself, to everybody else. You are not fit to be in charge of boys.
Take that back.
Damn well won't. It's true. Hanged if I know why you haven't been asked to resign for disloyalty.
Disloyalty to whom?
You don't even know. To the country, man. To the parents who send their sons here. They expect you to give them an education, and you end up giving them a lesson in class hatred. Now get out of my rooms. I've got work to do.
Disloyalty to the country. Well, that's great coming from you, boy. I spent 3 years in the bloody trenches fighting for trench dodgers like you with gammy knees. Oh, it came in very handy, that knee, didn't it? Instant bloody collapse at the side of a troop ship.
Get aside. Get out of here. Get back to the gutter.
Don't touch me.
You hit me.
I won't apologize for coming straight in. It was hardly a private conversation, was it? Do you know you could be heard right across the quad?
You hit me.
I'm sorry.
Came in here making vile accusations and he wouldn't go away, so I tried to make him go away, then he hit me.
I take it, Pilot Jones, you won't hit me if I tell you to take yourself off now.
I'd like to explain.
Later, if you think you can. Go back to your rooms. I'll see you there in half an hour. Well. You can pour me one of those if you don't need it all yourself. And nothing with it.
You don't have to tell me. We both made bloody fools of ourselves. Me in particular. I did hit him. I haven't done that since I was 15.
Not too good for discipline, is it? Poor old Carter, he's misguided in my opinion, but he believes the most important way to measure a man is to ask how he stands up to the challenge of war. You've been through it, you distinguished yourself. He's never had a chance to prove himself. That's the thought he's had to live with all these years, and you go and taunt him with it. You really know how to hit where it hurts, don't you? Devil if it is, how's either one of you going to bury the hatchet after this?
Do you want my resignation?
You know better than that. I've only got a year or so to go here now, but I do want to leave a good school behind me for the next man. You and Carter are a pair of damn good teachers. I want to keep you both. So, any other bright suggestions? Don't say you want to have it out in the gym with boxing gloves.
You could apologize in writing. Just admit I lost my temper and not mention the other business.
Don't expect an apology from him. You hurt him far more than he hurt you.
Yes, I'll do that for you. After all you've done for me. I've been trying to think what Beth would have thought about it all.
She'd never have let you go over there, my boy. She'd have tied you to that chair till she'd got you laughing at the whole silly business. David, you've got to find something else to live for. Beth's been dead for 5 years. You've got to let her go, David. If teaching's not enough for you just now, what about that book you were working on? What, the Royal Heifer, was it?
Tigress. The Royal Tigress.
Get it out, man. Have another look at it.
No, that's dead now. I don't even remember what got me so excited about it.
But you will, if you give yourself a chance. Oh. This will be the first time I've been tipsy in chapel. You get that letter written.
Yes, sir.
And no more fights without consulting me.
My dear Piley Jones, I accept your apology. I should not have lost my temper. It was unprofessional, as was my remark in the laboratory. Yours sincerely, T.S. Carter.
I'm glad you came up this evening. I've had a bit of a shock.
Bad news?
Some would call it very good news. Filthy things. Do you remember my telling you some years ago, in a moment of maudlin indiscretion, about a young woman of whom I had been very fond in the past?
Oh, yes. She left you for a wealthy stockbroker, didn't she?
How kind of you to remember. Yes. Take a look at this, my dear chap, if it's not too much trouble. She was 20 years old then.
Beth's age when I met her.
It seems she died 4 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You didn't know? You weren't in touch?
What do you think? She had a son almost as old as you.
I'm sorry. How did you find out?
From the solicitor. She left me £8,000.
Good God.
To Ian Howarth, whom I remember with the greatest affection. That's what she said. And I had imagined all these extravagantly pointless years that she'd been perfectly happy with a stockbroker.
£8,000? That's a small fortune. What are you going to do with it?
Put it in the bank, man. What do I want with it? I don't give a damn about the money. To think that I could have married that girl if I'd had the nerve. Well, let my folly be a lesson to you, Powwow. You're half my age. Find yourself another wife, or let her find you.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Emphatically. If you've any doubts, take a look at your colleagues. Take a look at me and say to yourself, in 20 years' time, I could be like that man if I don't do something about it. Doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
I'm not looking for 2 lucky breaks, Howarth. Most men don't even get 1.
Consider the alternatives. Some men can live the celibate life. I don't fancy you're one of them.
What did you do about women all these years?
Your appetite for sordid revelations never ceases to astonish me. Do you really want me to tell you?
No, I'm sorry. It's none of my business.
You don't use the unicorn at Challicum, do you?
No.
Then you probably won't have noticed the young woman who serves in the residence lounge bar. Young, I should say, when I first made her acquaintance. A generous and sensible soul with a good head for business. My dear chap, don't stare at me like that. The great flood of masculine passion, as George Eliot has it, may not be much in evidence. But the riverbed is not yet completely parched. I hear you're going up to London for a day or two.
Yes, that's right. I've got hundreds of references to check out at the British Museum.
Ah. But try not to spend all your time in museums. I speak from bitter experience. As a museum piece myself.
It's David Powlett-Jones, isn't it? Julia Derbyshire. Remember?
Yes, of course I do. Well, I never thought I'd see you again.
Oh, I knew I'd see you. May I?
Oh, yes, of course.
I was so sorry to hear about you. Keith Blades wrote and told me. He still writes to me, you know.
Oh?
Oh, no need to worry. He's engaged to a very nice girl, and they are very happy. We must have given you some headaches.
Oh, no. Not too many.
I've changed a lot since then.
Oh? And what do you like now?
You? Well, I'm not, whirling about so much. My husband died 3 years ago, so I suppose you can say I'm a free woman.
Oh, I am sorry.
No. No, it would be silly to pretend it was anything other than a relief. He was in constant pain, and there was absolutely no hope. So, since I've only had myself to worry about, it's all seemed so simple. I've got a marvelous job managing a dress shop. You wouldn't believe how efficient I am. I have a nice flat. I've made a lot of friends.
So, you have everything you want?
Oh, I don't think anybody gets that.
No.
So what have you been doing in London? One long round of pleasure? Wining, dining, theatres?
No, I'm afraid it's mostly been libraries so far.
Oh.
Look, you're not...
You're not free this evening by any chance, are you? Well, I mean, I'd love you to come and see the flat, and I could cook dinner for you, if you don't think it's a frightful cheek.
No, I was just going to ask you if you'd care to have a meal with me in Soho.
No, you let me cook for you. You won't regret it. I'm a far better cook than teacher. Happy?
Yes, I am. I don't think I've enjoyed an evening so much since... Yes, I'm happy.
Well, I'm glad. Do you know you're the only person I ever wanted to see again from that place? I didn't know you very well then, but you're just as nice as I thought you would be. Do you know I've got into this most awful habit of being absolutely straight with everybody I meet. And, well, you're the most attractive man I've ever met, so there. And if it isn't absolutely necessary for you to go tonight, would you like to stay with me?
I'm afraid I do have to go back tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. It's too soon, isn't it?
I don't know. It's just that I... Oh. I'm sorry, Julie.
No, David, you don't have to say anything. We've had a lovely evening anyway, so let's forget it.
Look, I will be coming to London again very soon. Could we see each other again?
Do you mean it? You'll really come here and have dinner with me again?
Yes, I'd like to.
Like to?
Yes, I will.